Will Terence Crawford knock out Errol Spence Jr.? That's the question we asking right now. Former welterweight champion Timothy Bradley was in an interview and was asked about the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight, and he chose to pick his boy Terence Crawford to stop Errol Spence Jr. in the 11th round. There's no surprise. Terence Crawford is his boy. They on the same side of the street, so there's no surprise there. But anyone who knows boxing and understand the good analysts, the ones that's pretty good at saying what they say, him, Paulie Malignaggi, a lot of great analysts out there. If you was an Errol Spence fan, you got to be a little bit concerned because usually Tim Bradley know what he's talking about, man. But I'm gonna play a little clip of what he said so y'all can hear it. Hopefully the music not too loud because your boy ain't trying to get copyrighted out here in these YouTube streets. But y'all stay tuned.
I wouldn't mind seeing a 50-50 fight, but it's not my negotiations. It's Terence and Spence's negotiations. It's up to those guys to get the fight done any way they can.
Prediction for that fight if it gets made?
I'm doing Terence Crawford by knockout, either 9 or 10. 10 round. You know what? I think I said 11 round to my buddy. I said 11 round. I'm going Terence Crawford knockout. I just think that he just has more. He has more to him, man. Switch southpaw, right-handed, can punch, supreme accuracy and timing. I'm gonna go with Terence Crawford, man. Like I'm always going with him. I know Spence, he's a machine. He comes forward, he has high volume, and he can isolate a lot of the stuff with his volume. But Crawford, that's my guy. I'm gonna stick with Crawford.
The homie Errol Spence Jr. usually isolates all of that with his volume. But Timothy Bradley said he gonna stick with his homeboy. He gonna stick with Terence Crawford. He's seen Terence Crawford. He knows Terence Crawford. He's gonna roll with his boy, and I can respect that, man. What's going on? What up, y'all? Shout out to all the homies out there. This your boy Get a Mic. Really appreciate everybody for checking into the channel. No, seriously, I really appreciate everybody for checking in, man, and showing some love. Y'all don't know how much that means to me. Everybody dropping comments. Everybody hitting the like button, man. Hey. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, biggest fight to be made in boxing. And you guys are really showing up heavy for this fight when it happens, man. And we're going to keep giving y'all what y'all want, man. We're going to get in here and talk about it. But the subject of today is it possible or will this happen? Errol Spence Jr. gets knocked out by Terence Crawford. Can it happen? Will it happen, man? And, on this channel, man, we get real heavy behind Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? We rock with him real heavy. A lot of the homies I seen at, a lot of the fights and stuff like that. We seen this stuff up close and personal, man. And we know how much of a dog Errol Spence is in that ring. That's not to take nothing away from Terence Crawford. I think he's one of the best, one of the cream of the crop. Obviously, you can argue with his resume from here to there, whether or not it's good enough. But at the end of the day, right? We're going to get behind Errol Spence in this one, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't see Errol Spence getting stopped by Terence Crawford unless maybe a few things happen, right? When you're in the ring with Errol Spence Jr., he is what you would call an apex predator, all right? He's an alpha male dominant performer, all right? He's going to come at you from round 1 to round 12 if you survive, right? And He's the type of fighter that usually doesn't really have to make an adjustment in the fight. Errol Spence Jr. is usually the one that's going to set the pace in the fight. He's going to start from the beginning, throwing that jab out there, walking forward, hitting you to the body, banging you on the arms, moving out the way of your punches while still uppercutting you and hitting you in the arms, the side, hitting you on... Errol Spence hit you on a hip replacement. But so he's a real dominant fighter, man, and I don't really think Errol Spence is gonna have to be the one in the fight that makes the adjustment. Now for Terence Crawford, I believe he's gonna have to be the one to make the adjustment in the fight, mainly because I think he's the smaller fighter moving up in weight. Obviously, Terence Crawford is not small, okay? Big dude, strong, you know what I mean? Real strong, athletic fighter. But we know Errol Spence Jr. is the more natural 147 pounder. He's the more solid fighter. He's going to be the more dominant fighter in the ring when they step in there. So with that being said, no matter what the game plan is that Crawford and his team draw up, there's gonna have to be some adjustments once he starts getting hit. He's a slow starter. We know Terence Crawford gonna take his time to try to figure out what Spence is doing. But the crowd is probably gonna be pro Spence. And whenever Spence is moving forward and he's doing his thing, the crowd gonna be going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but Errol Spence most likely is gonna be up on the cards because of that slow start. So Terence Crawford, the only way I see him being able to knock out Errol Spence, like I said earlier, he's gonna have to start fast. He's gonna have to make that adjustment once he figures out, what he can figure out about the way Errol Spence is fighting on fight night. He needs to download the data, upload the data, and he needs to go in there, make that adjustment, and be aggressive. And whatever accuracy and whatever timing that he's trying to get down on Errol Spence, whether it's trying to get past the jab, whether it's trying to counter him when he's going to the body, however the game plan is, he's going to have to make that adjustment versus Errol Spence Jr. And then even that still might not be enough because he still has to worry about all of that thudding power. You know what I mean? All of that, all of that activity that Errol Spence is going to be coming with, because usually he's a very active fighter, constantly trying to beat you up. We talked about it in that video where we talked about how Buddy was saying that Errol Spence Jr. knows the secret in boxing. And that's the fact that a lot of guys don't really want to get in there and fight. Now, I don't think that comes into play at all versus Terence Crawford, because I think he's actually one of those fighters that likes to fight. So he grew up fighting. He been fighting all his life. You know what I'm saying? like Nipsey Hussle song, grinding all my life. Terence Crawford been fighting all his life, you know what I'm saying? So he knows how to get in there, and he knows how to mix it up and scrap with you when that time comes. And that's why this is going to be one of the biggest fights of our generation, man, because both of these fighters are fighters. You know what I mean? Both of these fighters, they're going to get in there, they're going to swing, they're going to try to beat each other up. You're going to probably see some trash talking right as the round ends. You know what I mean? They're going to be putting in work, and then ding, ding, the bell goes off. They're going to be still in each other's face. They're going to still be talking. You know what I mean? They're going to be talking shit to the crowd. It's just going to be real hype, man. But does Terence Crawford have that ability to knock out Errol Spence Jr.? Does he? I personally believe that the possibility is there. He's a high-grade fighter, top 1 or 2 fighters, you know what I mean? Possibly pound for pound, a lot of people believe. And he definitely does prove people wrong time and time again. So, like I said, Timothy Bradley usually knows what he's talking about, which could be a little frightening. But I'm not going to waver my thoughts. I'm not going to waver my opinion, because I believe that Errol Spence Jr. is just that type of dog, especially at the Porter fight in Los Angeles. That right there, that fight was a big eye opener for me, because watching that fight, I was a little bit nervous, you know what I mean? Because I believed, unlike a lot of people, that I thought Sean Porter would put up a big fight. I thought he would bring all he got and make it real tough on Spence. A lot of people didn't think so, you know what I mean? They thought that Porter was just going to get in there and lay down, but that didn't happen. But what made me impressed is the fact that how Errol was able to get hit. He was able to get in there and rough it out. Sean Porter's style, you know what I mean? He fought in there and fought gritty. He didn't really box like he did versus Mikey. And he took some punishment in that fight, and he just kept going, man. The dude's motor was just like consistently recharging after round, man, and it was just getting worse and worse for Porter, man. So I saw something in that fight that made me really, really believe in Errol for sure. You know what I mean? I always liked him, but after watching that fight ringside, man, that boy went to another level, man. And then, and even after that adversity, car accident, eye injury, and all of that, and come out here and put on a big performance versus Ugas, we gonna see, man. We gonna really, really see. I think it's possible, but I'm not gonna bet on anything like that. I think Errol Spence should be able to get the job done versus Terence Crawford. I think he's just gonna be too much for Crawford. And if Crawford don't make those proper adjustments, it could be a long night, a long painful night that ends in a hospital visit. And I don't wish no harm on anybody. I don't wish nobody hurt. I don't wish nobody going to the hospital. But we just seen somebody go to the hospital after this last fight with Ugas, man. But we just know that's the type of thing that can happen in this sport. So like I said, appreciate everybody for checking in. Quick tip of the day. If you listening to the sound of my voice, somebody out there has been thinking about getting in the gym. If you've been thinking about it, this is your cue right here to get your ass in the gym. You don't gotta be good at it. You can really, really suck at it. That's fine. Just take that trip down there, man, and just get in there, man. Stepping in the gym, that's half the battle, man. You know what I mean? Just get in there, fake it till you make it, man, and just try to feel better. You know what I mean? You can run on the treadmill. You can lift weights. You don't got to be good at it. Just get your ass in the gym. You're going to be better when you come out than when you went in. This your boy, Get a Mic. Much love, peace, and blessings to everybody checking into the channel. And I'll be back with more Errol Spence and Crawford videos, baby. Peace.